Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a Temerian Tuesday, and even if it wasn't, we would be starting with this deck. I think, it's a new season. There are 12 new cards. They are meta-shifting, meta-defining cards. If for no other reason than they're new and people are going to start playing with them. They are tons of fun. The Northern Realm ones are the most plug-and-play, easiest to use, and just a ton of fun. So King Full Test. First time you a bronze unit on you spawn the first time a bronze unit on your side of the battlefield is boosted each turn. Spawn a base copy of it at the bottom of your deck. We don't really care where it goes in deck. We're gonna get access to it, and we'll show you how. Devotion also boosts a spawned unit by 1. Cool, not all that meaningful. But we are running Devotion just to show you how it works. Notably, he does work really well with Erland, even if you can't get the units back out on Devotion, because they're all going to be boosted, and Erland can just strip off that boost. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of interplay that we can do to kind of safeguard our losses in terms of draws. If you've played Northern Realms, you use Amphibious Assault, it's great, it's awesome. It's a horrible tutor for high-value cards like Full Test, Merciless, Erland, Meve, and Bloody Baron. But they all have so much point value and so much synergy with the other cards that we're going to be okay. Bloody Baron is in here. You guys have played with him before, but Queen Meve is fantastic, even if she holds her sword weird. We were talking about this. Don't worry, we're gonna illustrate that when I get my green screen later today, but we are where we are for now. Queen Meve, inspired, so she has to be boosted. She does come with 2 armor, so it's easy to get there. It's hard to boost her to a certain level or number, though, because she is such a high value card coming down at 7 points. But she has a 3 counter. When the counter reaches 0, she boosts all allied units on the board by 1. Crazy, nuts, amazing with some of these tutor plays. I personally am really liking the Dun Banner play most with our good friend Full Test. And I'm really not worrying here about using reinforcements as we've typically done in the past to get more blue stripes. Getting 1 or 2 of them out as a tempo play with Roach is good enough. We are using Egmont for the easy boost, and he also gets you that 3 damage to get you out your Merciless with Zeal. And then we also have Vess and Siege supports in here just to kind of confirm all of that. Now you're going to see so much engine value, so much boost, and so much tutoring that you don't really need to worry a ton about huge removal, which makes this a fun deck to play because you don't feel sick inside every time you play it. But it's also just a really good way to kind of not have to constantly worry about what your opponent is playing. Let's jump into a game, show you guys how this works. Biggest things to be concerned about with this deck, I really do like Crystal Skull on here to protect the Full Test from lock, and I like Full Test round 1 because you get all the extra copies. Like I said, though, the downside with Northern Realms and the horrible side with Devotion is that you don't get a tutor for those bigger cards. So it is a little bit difficult. Now, Vampires are really cool. They're really fun to play. We're going to be covering them tomorrow. But they're pretty easy to get around, and we do get lucky here with Full Test. We're just going to put one of these Dun Banner back. It's fantastic. You get Pavetta. Just don't have to worry about her doing other stuff. I'm going to put back Amphib and get it out with Nautilus. And Commando is actually really good, but we're going to put him back too, just because we already have Dun Banner. Now the trick with this deck is to kind of get out the cards you want and with Royal Inspiration as your friend. Right, so we're going to start with Dun Banner here. We're just going to drop them down, and we're going to go ahead and boost them right now. Easy peasy, not a whole lot to it. Don't overthink it. And now you are going to be spawning a lot of them, so just kind of keep in mind that a lot of them are going to be coming out. We're not even going to really worry about the bleed. Not a big issue for us. The biggest thing that we have to worry about here is just, okay, what is the next card? What's the next combo that we want to get out? And that can be a bit of a difficult choice on the second play because you're kind of playing into a dead zone. So here, I'm actually just going to go ahead and get out my Drummer onto this Dun Banner. We're going to spawn a lot of extra copies of these, but even if we get extra ones, Erland's going to make value out of them, and we'll be okay. You could include Siege Ladder here to kind of space out your rows and get a little bit more value out of them. But this works fine for me for right now. We'll just keep the boost going. Here I'm just also defending against the 3-point with bleed to protect against something like Gale. Gale can be a little bit frustrating when you have to deal with that remover. Here I'm happy to actually kind of milk out this Striga. Meaningless removal from my perspective. Easy for us to deal with. Now we'll go for full test. We'll drop the Crystal Skull on him to protect him. He might draw in a removal like Heat Wave, but here you're seeing the Dun Banners come out. Boosted, easy peasy, not a whole lot you have to do about it. I'm just kind of waiting for the opponent to make plays here. And then our grab with Amphib is almost always Blue Stripe Scout. They just represent tons of value. They're a lot of fun. Easy to do. Note that the boost with Amphib doesn't count. So here I'm not getting out an extra copy of these anyway right now, so we're just playing kind of a patient play with this. And I certainly don't want to get an extra copy of a boost here. So yeah, so here you see the Dun Banner come out. Amphib does not count, so I'm not getting an extra copy of Blue Stripe Scout. So just something to keep in mind if you're trying to get an extra copy of something with Amphibious Assault, it will not work. The opponent throwing down a lot of bleed value here. Not sure what for. Kind of an early Oriana. I don't really love this. She gets some value here, but it's kind of point engine is equal to full test, so not really something I'm super concerned about. We're just gonna drop down Drummer here next to Nautilus. Actually, let's drop down. Actually, we're gonna put him next to Dun Banner just so we don't have to worry about it.
Right.
And here you see we just kind of have an automatic engine ticking. Not a whole lot that we have to do here to get value. The longer this goes, though, the more value we get out of our Pavetta. And the tighter the round 2 and round 3 are, the easier it is to either 2-0 or win out pretty easily in a 3-card round 3. Getting Erland can be a really helpful way to kind of resolve that issue, but here we see the Purify onto full test, which is fine. Our question is kind of what do you want to commit here, and we're just going to drop down a Tridum. We already have the automatic boost going here, so we can drop down on a string at next turn. And the longer this goes, again, the more value I'm getting for a few things. One, a round 3 tempo where I can just use Pavetta to put these back in, pull them out with Amphib, boost them with Leader, get them all back out again. Or I can put them all back in my deck, boost them all with Erland, and then strip off that boost with Erland. So lots of different options I have. The longer this goes, the better it is for me. Even weirdly, if I start taking a loss here. So she's not a bronze unit. The weird thing here is that this Tridum is actually going to get boosted. So I'm actually going to boost a Dun Banner here, weird as that is. So I want more copies of Dun Banner, not the Tridums. So it is a little bit wonky, but it's alright. Now, if I was going into a round 3, I would probably want to have a... Okay, this is easy for us too. I would probably want to have Bloody Baron to reset this Oriana, but without any way to do that for themselves, I think we're going to be okay. And here we're just continuing to go, continuing to get these Dun Banners, getting some engine value out of the Ana. The opponent here kind of slides us up a card with a win though, so. We're just kind of going to let this go at this point. They should have passed there. You do get an extra trident here if you want an extra trident. So, something to be careful of. I think probably the smarter play is to go Dun Banners on melee, full test to range. The Blue Stripe Scout will kind of eke them out. So, you kind of just have to, you know, judge that for yourself as to what's most worthwhile. Let's smoke them out back. We'll put siege support back. Looking for our golds, not getting them, so that's a little bit of frustration, but we could out-try them. And in case you're ever wondering, I'm going to show this to you. The cooldown works perfectly for you. Just go ahead and boost a unit when you're going into a dead round or when you're getting it out. It's going to go to them, come back to you, and then that cooldown will be reset by the time you go in. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, but if you're working on like a seasonal tree for progression, it's a really easy way to get that value back. Alright, looking for something better than all that. Queen Meave would be my most preferred card at this point. But we can make value out of the Blue Stripe Commando with the Blue Stripe Scout here. We're just gonna go ahead and drop this down. They might have a 5-point removal. That's fine. It's a little bit of value here, but we can also copy the Dun Banner, and it's an easy way to get out that value. Now we can put down Egmoon to get some value here. Yeah, so I think the easy target for Caranthir is actually Oriana. Unseen Elder is a cool way to play this, though. You get some damage value, you know. He's cool, don't get me wrong. We're just gonna go for the easy tutor here. Let's get some points. Now I can think about this too hard. Everybody's going to melee. Just get down Egmont. He's good passive points. And I don't care about how many units I have out. It's actually just more bodies for the bleed. So I'm not going to worry about conserving these units out. If I had Meave, I would want to do that because Queen Meave would be boosting each single unit that I get out. But here you're seeing, like I said, sometimes you just miss out on the draws, is what it is. These double Elders are going to be good. Elders are fun because you get to double proc bleed value at the end of a turn, so getting lots of value there. So it's definitely a cool way to play. We're waiting one more turn for the reset there, so we're just going to play down Pavetta. Get back all of our Dun Banners. I'm just kind of like letting the units that get bleed die. There's no reason to really preserve them all that much. This is a smart way to get bleed value. I really like Feast of Blood in the current meta. Makes a lot of sense. And then here we're just going to proc this Egmont value. Even though it's into armor, we'll get 1 point out of the vest and he's going to die anyway, so. We play down the Dun Banner, and then we commit the leader charge. And there you see it. Whole bunch of points coming back to our side of the board. Now, Baron's probably going to go for a reset to my own units, since I don't have a good way of getting around the cave troll. So I'd probably want one of these 1 health units to survive. Blood Moon is kind of a cool idea, but a little wonky. You kind of awkwardly don't want these 1-point units to die because you want to spawn the Ekimaras. So we're just going to play him to preserve this 1-point unit. We're just trying to protect a little bit against the Detlef, although this Dun Banner took that damage value anyway. But vampires are a good counter to this deck. A lot of Row Swarm. You get out a lot of bleeds. They're really fun. A little bit weird. I expect the finisher to be Protoflater. And we just kind of run out of juice here. Maybe Blood Moon? Not 100% sure what you'd be tutoring at. So much points! This is such a cool conversion. That left gets the kill here. He's using a Detlef a little bit. Oh, it has to be an enemy bleeding unit. So, it has to be like a 1-point unit with bleed. Anyway, see vampires there get a whole lot of value. We just missed a lot of our golds. That is what it is. But I gotta show you the cool interaction of full test round 1, being able to get out all those extra units. Again, round 1 is best, round 2 would also work. You know, you could try to run some consistency with like Griffin Witcher Adepts who get the draw a card, replace a card. But typically I find this deck has just so much value, it's not usually a problem. The other issue that we had, you really kind of want to win round 1 so that you can bleed out round 2 and push round 3. Elves are bonkers. I'm super excited to play them for Saturday. I honestly am like forcing myself to have some delayed gratification with that. So I'm terrified of this matchup just because there's so much value that they can turn up out of this matchup. Alright, we'll keep Nautilus with Smug Mount. And then here, I do like the Tridum. I don't necessarily need the Drummer, but he gives us some backstop. But we'll put him back. Well, this is actually a little bit better for us. Now we're just waiting for a 2-point unit to get set up for the Roach kill here. Easy way to start that off is Tridum with the damage value. So I'll set him up, take the 1 proc of damage. Against Lampkin is great. Now we can use a Vest to knock this down to 2. Pyrotechnician will be 2. Not a whole lot of intelligence used in this setup. All removal all day. Pitfall Trap is a good way to kind of deal with this issue. So we'll go ahead and place Egmund here. It's not Pitfall Trap, so we're okay. We'll just go ahead and boost up Vess. Pitfall Trap would have done 12 damage with the Roach and would have killed him off and killed off Vess. So it would have been the worst of all the worlds. This might be Mahakam Horn though.
That's what matters.
Get the kill. Proc the unit. Give it Zeal. Get out the other ones. Pretty basic. And I like Egmund in this because Egmund gets you that 3 damage to set up for the Roach if you need it as well. These Pyrotechnicians, I don't like this play at all. Not great value, not smart. Would have been better to just have pulled these early and to smash some damage onto Vess and Egmund to pressure those out of service. And now just a little bit awkward. Do need to have 1 boosted unit for Smoke Them Out, so that's just something we should keep in mind. Not a really big deal one way or the other. Not a whole lot of thinking involved here. We're gonna whole... We can go ahead and squeeze these out because we have 2. You always want to have 2 just in case one gets removed. And then here we're just going to boost up Egmont so he can't get removed by a 5-point removal like Nature's Rebuke or Alzur's Thunder. Since it's a modded deck, it's not Devotion. Which I feel like the Eldain play is better with Devotion. Here we miss out on some points because we can't play the Blue Stripe Scout, but I'd much rather be able to pressure round 2. So that's what we're going to do. And Smoke Them Out is here so we can get a guaranteed Amphib, really important in a tight round 3, and just not lose value onto a Bricks Nautilus. So, not a ton of thinking that goes into that. Alright, Dun Banners work well here. I like this combo, but I'm not super wedded to it. But Blue Stripe Scout is probably the least valuable of all of these. Alright, now we can get out Full Test and start doing what we did last game all over again. We got to be a little bit cautious of Crushing Traps. Looks like the trap here was Serpent Trap, which was a little bit weird to not see it pinched off. Would have killed off Egmont for good value. Wind Vest was boosted up. I have no idea what they are. I'm not gonna let him. I'm not gonna let that get to me. I do want to wait to get out Full Test next round. So here, I'm just gonna try to preserve some value on this Dun Banner in case they're both Crushing Traps, and to just get that constant boost. Wow. All right, good pressure. This is actually a good combination of just good value to kill off the card, do some damage to the existing units. But here we can decide whether or not we even want to keep going in this round. I can get out extra copies of Blue Stripes with Full Test. And I can keep spawning extra versions of them that will be boosted for the Erland. Saber-Tooth Tiger is just kind of a dick card that's hard to play around anyway. Plus here the opponent gets 2 traps converted by Eldain. So we're just going to take the pass. So here what we're looking for is Meave. We can get Meave, we'll be okay. We didn't even ever play our Amphib either, huh? We got Meave. Find out if I'm right or wrong about that. Siege support does help give us Zeal. And we'll go ahead and grab this Blue Stripe Scout. So he's better than Smoke Them Out in this scenario. Smoke Them Out is going to cause me some problems by giving me too many units. I'm gonna get pushed out of room here. Only 3 points of boost for Erland at this point, so not great. But you gotta remember we're gonna be moving some of these units back in. We're just gonna start off with Tridom. To arms! Everything goes to melee except for the Blue Stripes. And right now we have 4 of them. Annoying, but really bad synergy there. I don't personally think that was the best play that you could make. But who am I? Just a dude that plays the game. Yeah, let's go ahead here and start generating our value. We need to get out Pavetta for that first. The more removal that he spends, the easier it's going to be to get Meave off. And one of the easiest ways to make sure she goes off is get the reset and then commit a leader charge. And that works pretty well. Just thinking here. I'm gonna miss our blue stripe scout. I forgot that the amphib is in here for the other purpose.
Uh-oh. Trouble approaches.
We'll go ahead and boost him. So Forest Protector threatens a third use. This is non-devotion, so it could be like a heat wave or something like that. Don't really understand using Marauders. And if you get the bonded, they go off for 6 and 8 points, so a total of 14 with 4 provisions each. But I just hate trying to draw into bonded. Not my personal favorite, that's for sure. Alright, here comes Ibeer. No idea what it is. We're not going to think about it too long. We're just going to go ahead and get out our boys. Could be a crushing trap, which will be annoying, but they should survive. Now, getting the timing right when you draw all of your golds can be a little tricky with this deck, so you just have to keep these counters in mind and your leader charges in mind. If you wanted to go for a simple, stupid way, you could use like Kedwenny Sergeants. They got reworked to have formation, so you can use them with Zeal, or you can place them on range to be pre-boosted. So you can kind of get a little bit of flexibility with them, since they get 2 charges of 1 boost each. You don't know if I have a Purify, so, I mean, okay, this makes sense to just get some more units onto the row, get some value out of that Crushing Trap. I think that makes more sense. We're gonna leave the 3-point unit and squeeze off one of these 2s. Then we get the 5-pointer. Easy peasy. I like Eorvith with Crushing Trap. Could be another different a wholly new card that we have no idea what it is. Now here we're going to go. I have a couple of options. I want to start getting this boost off, but I don't want to just drop down on and have her get damaged. So instead I'm going to do something a little weird here, and we're going to go for Smoke Them Out, and then we'll take the boost value back off with Erland. I don't know. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. We'll put her next to this 5, get some value there. Just going to keep getting the units into the deck. Gaeton's good value, but a little bit weird with the random procs. I'm just going to hazard a guess that those are not the ones he wanted. That actually does me a little bit of good in that it moves some units off for me. Now we need Meave down. And because she's a gold, we're going to be okay to just go ahead and boost her. And then the first boost will still be onto this commando. More traps, more fun. It's not Pitfall Trap because that's still in the graveyard, so I think we're okay here, and it's not Serpent Trap, so we're just going to go ahead and play. Well, it could be an Incinerating Trap, actually. You only live once.
Suffering? Our suffering Suffering
Alright,
binds us.
we got a little bit lucky there. Just praying it's not an incinerating trap. Still getting these off. Meave's counter is still going off. And we protect the Meave counter here a little bit. Sucks to lose the Ana, but not a big deal. Because we have this Baron, we could reset her and use Leader to get her back up. We don't have to do that. That works fine for our purposes. Now I'm going to go ahead and commit a boost here to a Blue Stripe Commando so I can get them out again. But I kind of like the math here. I don't need to squeeze this off until next turn. So here I'm just going to go ahead, play the Bloody Baron for the reset onto this Mahaka Marauder. And I don't mind that I'm missing out on the bleed value. It was only going to be 1 point anyway. I'm just leaving these. Almost certainly can't kill two at once. It would have been nice to get that boost with Meave, but here I'm just kind of protecting some value. I don't know what the opponent's going to play out. Fernwazeel was one of those options. And because these were going to 5, we were going to be fine. Get some damage to melee, but it's all meaningless. And the opponent quits out of their game because we're about to win easy peasy. We hadn't even squeezed out our Blue Stripe Commandos yet. I don't really like how they built their deck. I definitely would have gone for Devotion just so you could flip all of those traps. Use Isengrim and Vernwazeel for kickers and really good value. But yeah, easy win for us. So we still would have tutored out 2 more of those Blue Stripe Commandos. We would have procced the 3rd token into the deck from the Nautilus, smoke them out. 6 points out of him with the smoke them out. So you got 8 points out of him total. 10 more points of Commandos because they're all pre-boosted by 1 by full test. Erland was going to strip off the boost of 4 units at least. So, you know, all kinds of points that we hadn't yet realized the value on there. And you would have thought traps would have been the best way to deal with kind of this row swarm of this deck, but it's not. Vampires is. So, and again, this deck actually has a really good matchup against vampires if you just get your draws round 1 and you're able to win round 1. If you can win round 1, you can totally bleed them out round 2 and then play crazy tempo value round 3. I think you can kind of imagine how that would work really easily with done banners because you can just use a leader charge, get all, you know, we can fill the whole row up. It's 27 points plus the 1 point of boost. 9 times 3 is 27. So you're actually getting 28 points in one play, plus the 5 points of boost value you get out of Amphib for tutoring it out that way. So you actually get 33 points in one play. Crazy good value, super easy to use. If you are new to the game or you are just getting back in after a while away this season, this is the deck to start with. With all of that said, you know, I could keep playing for a ton of games, but I think you get the good general gist here. If you want to see more, follow me on Twitch. Request at any time. I love to play decks at request. But until next time, subscribe, like, talk to you soon, and on the flippity flop. But until then, get out there, keep on gwenting. Bye for now.